Welcome to the NewSpring Virtual Luncheon. We're happy you could join us virtually. My name is Monica Hill, and on behalf of the NewSpring Executive Board, welcome to our event. NewSpring is a faith-based nonprofit dedicated to make positive social and economic impact in the Spring Branch and the greater Houston community. I originally became involved through the NewSpring EDGE program. I've had the privilege of mentoring a young lady from Northbrook High School as well, who is now a junior in college. And as a Latino business leader, I can identify with our community that we serve. And I believe every day in working to change lives, and I'm proud to do it through NewSpring. On behalf of the board, thank you for watching our virtual program today. Next, you're going to hear from some of our program participants. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Jake Speck and I am the Executive Director at 80 Players and the George Theater. I had the great privilege and honor of speaking at the NewSpring Prayer Breakfast last month and was asked if I might share part of my remarks with you today. I grew up in a small community outside of Dallas where there was not a strong focus on the arts. I was a kid who didn't know who he was or what he was good at or where he fit in. I didn't understand why my interests seemed so different than all the kids around me and was further confused by the fact that I was often bullied by my peers for not being into all the typical boy things that they were into. I was lost. And then one day my very perceptive mother saw an ad for children's acting classes at the Dallas Theater Center and asked me if I'd like to try acting. I thought that sounded really cool, so I said yes. And that decision changed the trajectory of my entire life. I will never forget sprinting out to the car after my first class and begging my mom to sign me up for more. I had found my thing, and that thing became my life's work. It took me to places I never dreamed I'd be. I got to perform on Broadway in New York City, at the White House, on the Emmy Awards, on the Tony Awards, and primetime network TV shows and feature films. And all of that performing led to a shift into arts management. And now I get to lead an amazing organization here in Houston that creates opportunities like the one I had for other young people. The arts didn't just change my life, they saved my life. And that is what the arts are doing for students at NewSpring. The arts have the power to move people in a way that nothing else can. Music, stories, paintings, dance, sculpture, these things evoke responses from the human spirit that other mediums simply do not. And it is in times of great stress and uncertainty that the arts are needed the most. Where did everyone run to at the beginning of the pandemic? They ran to artists. Netflix, Disney+, Amazon Prime, Hulu, virtual museum tours, living room concerts. Art brings us comfort in times of trouble. It challenges us in times of struggle. It lifts our spirits in times of sorrow, and it educates us in times of confusion. Remove the arts and the artists from a community, and you remove the very soul of that community. God hardwired human beings to learn, to grow, to empathize with others through experiencing the arts. I believe that. Why do you think Jesus used stories so much throughout the Bible? Because he knew just how good of a tool the arts were to teach us things. Will any of the students that come through the NewSpring program go on to be professional artists? Maybe, but that's not really the point. Will the education they receive and the artistic and emotional vocabulary they develop here help them to become a more empathetic, creative, expressive, and purpose-driven member of their community? Without question. I'm going to leave you with a quote from the great Madeleine L'Engle. I felt somewhat the same sense of irrationality in the world around me. Whenever this occurs, I turn to the piano, to my typewriter, to a book. We turn to stories and pictures and music because they show us who and what and why we are, and what our relationship is to life and death, what is essential and what will not burn. Thank you to NewSpring for having me. Please support this tremendous organization. Please support the arts, support arts education, especially in a faith-based environment, there is a little boy out there who doesn't know who he is or what he's good at, whose life depends on it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nadine Herrera, and I'm the Visual Arts Director at NewSpring. The NewSpring Visual Arts program provides a fun and robust after-school and summer art program to our historically underserved elementary through high school students in the Spring Branch area, and now in the greater Houston area. Our programs offer educational opportunities for students where they can build fundamental art skills and the essential traits of creativity, problem solving, and confidence. Our art lessons incorporate literacy and numeracy to help our students succeed in school while still having fun. We normally take our students twice a year to the museums in town, and it is so unbelievable to me that there are many students that have not had that experience. It is truly a wonderful experience to see as the world opens up before their very eyes. The program also offers opportunities for secondary students to market their artwork once a year in our NewSpring annual student art auction in partnership with Spring Branch ISD's art teachers. We bring in approximately 250 pieces of art, out of which 50 are selected by professional artists who are NewSpring friends. The 50 pieces are then professionally framed by our friends and sponsors at Bradley's Art and Frame and Frame Crafters. The big night of the auction is usually in May, and in the last few years it's been at AD Players at the George Theater on Westheimer, where our students receive 100% of their proceeds from the artwork they sell. We also have a 9-week summer program called Passport to the World. The program helps our students experience diverse cultures. Students have traveled around the world exploring a different country per week, such as India, Italy, Brazil, and Japan, from the comfort of our studio. They learn about various traditional and modern works of art and create their masterpieces by combining various art techniques specific to that country. We invite special guests from each country to visit our studio and share their stories and talents with our students. Guests also bring in musical instruments, dress in traditional outfits, and bring the best of the best from their culture. This past summer, we had one of our very own Natividad Mosqueda teach Passport to the World. I have seen Natividad grow up at NewSpring. She participated in many auctions, community events, was an intern at NewSpring, and a scholarship recipient. It was wonderful to see Natividad step up and teach our summer program during a time of uncertainty, to teach in the very community that she grew up in. Natividad knew everything about NewSpring, and I thought it would be a wonderful opportunity for her, and the opportunity came just in time because Natividad had just graduated and was looking for a teaching job. This past summer, we were fortunate to partner with Metro National on a mural project that some of our students did, and we would love to share the story with you.
My name is Alison Terreros. I'm 16 years old, and I am the designer of this design for the mural for NewSpring and the restaurant. So how I met NewSpring, I was in graphic design for a year in my freshman year. My teacher made this, told us about this thing that was happening. So our studio had an art auction, and they were trying to get people to design their poster for it. And I designed this piece of art too, but kind of a different way. They contacted me and they said that they wanted to use my design again, and if I would like to participate in it and use it for this mural. And I, of course, agree. You know, it's a really big opportunity and a big chance for me. I'm just really happy for the opportunity that they gave me, and I really appreciate that so much.
It makes you feel good inside, it makes you feel generous, and teaching someone else something you know always is just part of the human experience.
When I went to high school, I started investing very well in art class, by the help of Miss Lauren Moen, and she introduced me to the art auction and to the scholarship opportunities they have at NewSpring. Ongoing for 3 years in high school, that's where I started becoming more interested in art as a hobby and as a career. So they're going in college. Right now I'm just doing teaching, but I plan to one day go back to NewSpring and to Spring Branch ISD, inspiring young students to become artists and teachers as well, because they have been a great help student-wise and helping bring upcoming teachers as well.
I'm Eileen Fuentes Martinez, and I went to Northbrook High School. Through there is where I learned about NewSpring. NewSpring came over to our art classrooms and they gave this great presentation. They had they had flyers, and it was on the big screen. They were showing pictures of students I saw that went to Northbrook, and this you could enter your paintings and get money, and all of it goes to you. And I'm pretty sure that's what caught everyone's eye, but that's what mostly caught my eye. I think the first initial thought was, wow, how many opportunities are presented to me, even jobs. At first thought it was just this program where I could do art and sign up for scholarships, but when I learned that it's more than that, that there's jobs and all this they have here, that was my first thought. And when I was given the opportunity, I took it right away. I learned and I got to know these 4 amazing artists that I work with during that mural. It was a fun experience. At first, when I got that call, everything just went blank. I was like, no way. I wanted to tell everyone, but at that moment, no one was home. So I'm just yelling. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. For me, it was my first scholarship that I ever got. And that moment just made me feel so they noticed my hard work, and they do support my goals and dreams and how I'm going to succeed in college. And having that validation when I know that college is going to be really rough for me, and it feels like I have someone there to support me. Even if they're not there physically, it's always someone to keep me going in college. I just have so much genuine gratitude for them. I'm really thankful that they, reviewed me and they saw so much potential in what I want to do with my dreams and what I want to accomplish. And for them supporting me and standing behind me through that, that's such an amazing feeling of happiness and joy. Just having someone there always for me, just knowing that it's just a feeling that I can't describe.
Hi there, I'm Susan Marriott, and I'm the president and co-owner of Bioscience Writers. Bioscience Writers is a scientific editing and writing company, and we also do training and education in the science writing and editing fields. We work with clients in the United States, at universities and companies, as well as other clients all over the world, helping them to perfect their writing so that they can get published in scientific journals and get more funding from granting agencies for doing the research that we all want to have done. Our company began working with NewSpring and with our 2 business advisors, Robert Westheimer and Tracy Little, about 4 to 5 years ago. And I'll say that they revolutionized the way our company functions and the way we think about doing business. It's been a real treat and honor for us to work with seasoned business advisors who have the experience in business that can help us work well with our clients and develop new services. So I come from an academic background as a PhD scientist, and I had no previous business experience. So having these advisors help us understand our finances, our marketing, our value propositions, our mission statements, and how we convey those things to our clients has just been a complete change in the way we do business. Another really exciting thing for us in NewSpring is that we get to bring our employees into the fold with us. They attend the meetings with us. Our business advisors come here to our office and participate in our group meetings, and we go to the whiteboard and draw all the diagrams about the different strategies we have about working with our clients, or our financial strategies, or what will work or not work with new services. We're also really excited to be working with the NewSpring Business Edge program. because it allows us to interact with other companies as well. We get to meet in groups with other small businesses. We hear what their issues are and how they're solving them. And even though they're in different industries than we are, we find that many times there's things they're doing that we can adopt or start thinking about how we will address the same problems ourselves. There's a group of business advisors within the NewSpring Business Edge program that attend the meetings, and they have all different kinds of expertise. So within the program, we have access to lawyers and finance people and marketing people who can help us solve those specific problems that, we need a technical, really advanced advice about, and it's not easy to find. So throughout this whole program, not only are our employees growing, our company is growing, we're meeting other companies and networking, all at a cost that's really not possible to get all of this advice in any other way for companies of our size and stature. We're very excited to be working with NewSpring Edge Business Program, and I hope that we can continue on for a long time, and I hope that our business will grow and make the program very proud of us.
Hi friends, my name is Joseph Clam. I'm executive pastor at Chapelwood United Methodist Church. And I hope you have been inspired by the stories that you have experienced today on this virtual gathering. We have been in a season where we have been physically distanced, and yet today we have gathered online to share in the celebration of what God has been doing in and through the ministry of NewSpring. I hope you will join me in continuing to invest in what NewSpring has been doing in developing leaders and pouring into students and in making a huge difference and transformation in our Spring Branch community. Behind me, we have the community we serve. We find ourselves looking over this area, giving thanks to the way that God has been using NewSpring in this past season. There's been a lot of language about closing over these COVID days. But let me tell you, NewSpring has not been closed. The relationships that NewSpring has been building upon for years, they haven't been closed. In fact, we continue to see the students who have come from NewSpring, have launched into the world, who are now coming back and reinvesting in the community that they launched out of. And so today, I want to point you to an image of beauty that comes out of ashes. You see, we've been in dark days. We've been in days that we've seen more division. We've been in days where it seems that that anger has outweighed the voice of love. But let me tell you, there's beauty in the streets of Spring Branch. Friends, this year, NewSpring set a goal to reach $100,000 from this event. Last year, when we gathered together, we far surpassed that number. And I know that even though we're not in the same space physically, that we are in the same space with our hearts aligned. We are in the same space in support for what they've been doing. We are in the same space being inspired by the stories we've heard today. And so I want to ask you, if you gave last year, I want to ask you to consider to at least match your gift from last year. If you're able to, we'd love you to consider to increase that, because we know that that is an incredible investment on your part that will have an incredible return for our community. If you are new to the NewSpring community, we hope that today you heard something that has lit a fire in your soul that makes you want to get on board with what's going on. And so I want to ask that you would give something. Now today, you may also be in a place where you're ready and able to give a larger gift, but you need to talk to someone. We want to give you an opportunity to click on the button below on the link. We want to give you an opportunity to reach out to Katie Fields, the Director of Development at NewSpring, and she'd be happy to talk about how your investment can continue on the programs, the existing programs, as well as investing in the future of NewSpring. You can also give by buying a raffle ticket, and we hope you'll do that as well. Now, you may be asking, how do I give? Because we're virtual, you're going to be able to give safely and securely through the link that's provided in this video. We hope that you'll click on that. We'll hope that you will give generously, and we hope that you will join NewSpring in investing in the future of the participants today as well as tomorrow. Will you join me in prayer? God, we give you thanks for the way you have moved in and through the ministry of NewSpring. We thank you for the stories and the lives that we have witnessed today. We thank you for the way that you have brought about beauty out of dark days. We thank you for the creative spirits of the students. And Lord, we ask right now that you would pour out your Spirit upon the students and the families that are connected with NewSpring, as well as all of those in Spring Branch. We ask for your favor upon our community. And we ask that you would stir in those participating in this call today to move generously to support the ministry and work that you are doing in NewSpring. And we ask these things in your name. Amen. God bless, friends, and until we can meet again in person, I look forward to seeing how your generosity will transform our very community.